Chosen one. Something remarkable is happening. Quietly, steadily, and almost without warning, the dynamics around you have begun to transform. You're no longer the one doing the chasing. You're no longer the one needing to initiate every encounter. Instead, women are starting to approach you. They are drawn not just to how you look, not merely to your presence, but to the deep, rich, and undeniable current of high sexual energy that flows through your being. This shift is not superficial. It is spiritual. It is energetic. It is a sign that something within you has aligned. This isn't about ego. It's not about conquest. It's not about playing games or collecting attention. What you are experiencing now is the natural return of magnetism, when a man becomes aligned with his purpose, rooted in his discipline, and radiant in his authenticity. You have reached a level of inner clarity where your energy no longer leaks outward chasing validation. Instead, it radiates from you, pulling rather than pushing, inviting rather than demanding. And women feel it. They may not have words for it. They may not even understand it consciously, but they sense that your energy is alive, present, and unmoved by desperation. It feels safe. It feels warm. It feels powerful, but not aggressive. It feels like being in the presence of someone who doesn't need anything from them, but who can hold everything they bring. And so they begin to move toward you. Not because you called them, but because your frequency became a beacon they couldn't ignore. You have crossed a threshold where the way you carry yourself, the calm in your eyes, the way your body stays relaxed but alert, these things signal something very rare. A man who is no longer at war with himself. And that kind of man shifts everything around him. The universe responds, people respond, and women, especially women, feel a magnetic pull toward it. Not because of vanity, but because of truth. This is the result of work you've done in silence, the discipline you've cultivated behind closed doors, the thoughts you've cleaned up, the wounds you've chosen to heal rather than suppress, the self-respect you've built each time you said no to what didn't serve you. The self-possession you've strengthened every time you chose peace over impulse. That work didn't just elevate your energy, it consecrated it. And now it speaks for you in every space you enter. Chosen one, understand what's truly happening here. These women are not just responding to your physicality. They are responding to the purity of your alignment. They are being drawn not to noise, but to resonance. Your presence is not loud, but it is undeniable, and this is your invitation to meet this shift, not with arrogance, but with deep, sacred awareness. Because from this moment forward, your influence has changed. Your role has changed. You are no longer the one reaching outward. You are the one being reached for. Now you must decide, how will you carry this attention? How will you use it? What kind of atmosphere will your energy create for those who move toward you? This shift is not a destination. It is the opening of a new dimension, and you must walk into it with reverence. Chosen one, when the energy you carry begins to pull others into your field, you are no longer simply a participant. You become a portal, and portals must be guarded. When women begin to approach you first, when they make that subtle or bold move toward your presence, understand what's actually unfolding. It is not a compliment to your ego. It is a test of your spirit. Because how you respond in those moments reveals the true maturity of the power you now hold. This is not the time to fumble what you've earned in silence. This is not the moment to become casual with sacred access. A woman who approaches a man with confidence, interest, or even gentle curiosity is revealing something deeply vulnerable, even if it's cloaked in composure. Whether she's aware of it or not, she is trusting your response to be steady, clear, and safe. And your responsibility is to ensure that your presence doesn't just invite, but also honors. When a woman takes the step to come toward you, even with something as simple as eye contact, a greeting, or a question, you are being asked to carry that moment with discernment. You are not required to give her anything, but you are responsible for not damaging what her approach represents. The mature masculine receives feminine interest, not with entitlement, but with grace, with clarity, with restraint, with warmth that holds space rather than consumes it. Chosen one, your high sexual energy may be the light that draws her forward, but it is your character that must determine what happens next. This is where you must ask yourself, am I responding from desire or from alignment? From hunger or from groundedness? from habit, or from intentionality. Because this is where many fall, not in the moment of being admired, but in how they handle the power that admiration gives them. You are not here to feed on attention. You are here to guide the energy of the room. You are not here to indulge every approach. You are here to discern which ones are sacred and which ones are distractions. And most importantly, you are not here to collect the feminine. You are here to reflect it back with integrity so that it flourishes in your presence. The responsibility of being approached is the responsibility of being seen. And when you are seen by many, you must become even more anchored in who you are. Because in every encounter now, you are either confirming the sanctity of your path or trading it away for applause. So when she steps forward, whether with a glance or a gesture, stand tall inside your energy. Be present, not performative. Be open, not overexposed. Be kind, not careless, because your response becomes her memory. And you, chosen one, were not made to leave behind confusion. You were made to leave behind clarity. Chosen one, as the energy you carry grows more refined, more controlled, and more radiant, you have unknowingly unlocked something in the world around you. A silent invitation. Not one written in words or offered through gestures, but one that speaks through frequency. Women are beginning to hear it, not with their ears, but with their intuition. It is a call that whispers safety, intrigue, strength, and maturity all at once, and it's why they are now stepping toward you first. This moment must be met with a deeper understanding, because now you are learning the subtle but divine art of welcoming. It is not about performing. It is not about returning every advance with rehearsed charm. It is about receiving presence with reverence. Because when a woman chooses to approach you, no matter how casually or boldly, what she is actually doing is accepting your invitation, the one your energy extended before your mouth said a word. Welcoming does not mean possession. It does not mean promise. It means you hold space, honor the moment, and recognize that this woman, though drawn by your magnetism, is not an object of your conquest. She is an echo of your alignment. She is responding to your centeredness, not chasing your perfection. Your role now is to meet her openness with presence, not pressure. A man who has mastered the art of welcoming understands that everything begins in how you look at her. Your eyes must be steady, not consuming, soft, not unsure, respectful, not reactive. The way you greet her is the beginning of the energy you set. Do you mirror her humanity, or do you mirror your ego? Do you welcome her curiosity with warmth, or do you try to exploit it? These are the silent questions being asked in every encounter now. And you, chosen one, must be aware of what you are answering without saying a word. Welcoming also means becoming a container that does not collapse. You must be grounded enough not to be overwhelmed by beauty, still enough not to be pulled into fantasy. You have to know how to stand with someone who is giving you attention without grabbing more than she is offering. That is what makes your presence safe. That is what transforms you from a man she approached to a man she remembers. In this space, you must let your energy do what it was always meant to do. Bless the moment. Let your posture reflect patience. Let your smile carry sincerity. Let your words stay rooted in clarity. You are no longer a man who throws fire. You are a man who lights lanterns. Let her walk away from the interaction with more light than she had before. Not because you impressed her, but because you didn't misuse her openness. To welcome is to see her not as a prize, but as a mirror. She is showing up because of what you've cultivated inside. Honor that. Let her approach be met with masculine grace, not with dominance, not with shame, not with silence, but with a kind of acknowledgement that says, I see you, and I'm not here to consume you. I'm here to reflect truth back to you. That's what separates boys from kings. And you are no longer learning how to be chosen. You are learning how to hold space for the ones who recognize your crown. Chosen one, the world has always been full of men who possess power. But very few know how to carry it, and even fewer know how to contain it. You have entered the chapter where the energy you possess, especially your high sexual energy, is no longer just something that stirs desire. It is something that creates response. Women are sensing it in ways they cannot always explain. They are moving toward you, not because you pursued them, but because your energy spoke first. And now, your task is to harness this force, not restrain it through shame, and not release it through recklessness, but channel it like a master of fire. Unharnessed sexual energy turns men into chaos. It makes them reactive, impulsive, and ultimately destructive to themselves and to others. But when that energy is honored, understood, and directed, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes discipline fused with desire. And that creates a vibration that is rare, irresistible, and profoundly spiritual. To harness your energy means to first understand its weight. This isn't casual electricity, it's life force, it's creative power. It is the same energy that builds civilizations, fathers children, defends homes, and creates art. It is not something to be thrown around like a performance. It is something to be held like a sword. And a man who holds that sword must be careful where he points it. Right now, as women begin to approach you first, it is not simply your words or posture that they are responding to. It is your containment. The calm fire inside you that doesn't leap out to consume, but sits behind your eyes like a storm that knows when to stay still. That storm is beautiful. But if it spills into every interaction, it will stop being respected. It will become noise. It will turn sacred moments into scattered ones. Harnessing your energy means you must know when to move and when to remain still. You must learn how to hold back your words when they would only serve your ego. You must master the art of pausing before touching, even if the invitation seems clear. You must understand that just because you can create chemistry doesn't mean you should. You are no longer a boy testing his fire. You are a man who knows what it can ignite. Let your energy become sacred again. Let it fill you, not leak from you. Let it give depth to your conversations, not distraction. Let it pulse through your silence, not shout through your gestures. Let it build presence rather than provoke reaction. This is what makes you rare now. Not that your energy is strong, but that it is silent until summoned. That it is still until necessary. That it listens before it moves. Women are drawn to you now because they can feel that control. Not fear, not suppression, but awareness. They know instinctively that you are not a man who spills. You are a man who chooses. And in that choosing, your energy becomes more than magnetism. It becomes medicine. It heals, it awakens, it inspires, and it brings peace in ways they cannot explain, but will never forget. Chosen one, you have stepped into rare air, the space where women are no longer waiting for you to make the first move. They are now drawn in by the unspoken, by the aura that follows you like a rhythm, by the tension that lives in your presence, not from pressure, but from power held with purpose. But now, as they approach you first, the question that must govern your next step is this. What are your intentions? Your high sexual energy is not something you hide anymore, nor should you. It's a gift. It's a divine current. But if your intentions are not rooted in clarity and respect, that gift becomes a blade. It cuts rather than heals. It confuses rather than elevates. It becomes dangerous, not because of its strength, but because of your lack of stewardship. That's why now, more than ever, you must examine the why behind every interaction. Not just what you're capable of doing, but what you're willing to stand by after it's done. The integrity of your intentions is no longer a private matter. The way you carry your desires now ripples through the spaces you occupy. Women sense your clarity or your chaos before you even speak. And when they approach you, they are walking toward what they believe is a man who knows the weight of his own impact. That assumption is sacred, and you must never betray it by operating from impulse or unconscious hunger. To carry pure intention is not to deny your desire. It's to discipline it. To know that wanting something doesn't mean you must reach for it. That being desired is not a license to consume. That attraction is not permission. It's an invitation to discern. When a woman comes to you, chosen one, she is not just responding to how you make her feel. She is testing whether the energy that attracted her is anchored in something real, or if it floats on charm and collapses under proximity. Your intention must always be rooted in this truth. She is not here to serve your narrative. She is not here to feed your emptiness. She is not here to validate the echoes of an unloved past. She is not here to play a role in your unfinished healing. She is here because something about your presence whispered, you are safe to approach. And if you answer that approach with manipulation or with unconscious need, you are not just disappointing her. You are fracturing your own alignment. That is why your energy must be paired with introspection. Before you speak, check your motives. Before you lean in, ask what you hope to gain. Before you return a compliment, ask if it's honest or just reflex. Every move you make now must be intentional. Not calculated, not fake, but guided by truth. The truth of who you are. The truth of what you want. The truth of what you're ready to carry if she says yes. This is the integrity that separates you. You are no longer playing the game. You are no longer acting from old wounds. You are no longer addicted to being seen. You are rooted in vision. And from that vision, your interactions become sacred, even if brief. Let every woman who steps into your orbit feel not just excitement, but honor. Let her feel that your yes means something, that your attention is not scattered, that your compliments are not generic, that your presence is not a trap, but a truth. Because if your intentions are clean, then your energy becomes a sanctuary. And in this world of mixed signals and hidden motives, a man whose presence feels safe to be seen by is not just attractive, he is unforgettable. Chosen one, as you rise into this new level of attraction, where your high sexual energy walks ahead of you and women begin to step toward your presence, you must embrace one of the most profound powers you possess, listening. Not the kind that waits for a gap to speak, but the kind that receives another soul. The kind of listening that feels like a spiritual experience. That's the kind of listening you must master now. Because the deeper your presence becomes, the more others will want to share their truth with you. And what you do with that truth will either build or break the bond. You're not being approached now just because of your looks, or your voice, or your energy. You're being approached because your silence feels safe. Your stillness tells women, you can be here. You don't have to perform. You don't have to prove anything, but for that space to remain sacred, you must learn to listen with your whole being, with your eyes, with your breath, with your energy. Because the truth is most people, especially women, aren't desperate to be answered. They're desperate to be witnessed. You are that witness now. And you must carry that responsibility with reverence. When she speaks, she's not always asking for your opinion. She's offering you a piece of her inner world. And how you receive that determines how deep she's willing to go next. If you listen with presence, she'll open. If you listen with judgment, she'll retract. If you listen with hunger, she'll feel it. But if you listen with respect, patience, and curiosity, you become the first man in her life who doesn't just see her, but hears her soul without interrupting it. Your listening must be clean, not performative, not manipulative, not loaded with subtext. When she tells you her story, she should feel your energy slow down. When she shares her fears, she should feel your energy soften. When she opens her dreams, she should feel your energy expand to hold them without crushing them. Because true listening is not passive, it is a form of holding. And right now, you are holding more than her words. You are holding her courage to approach you at all. Do not underestimate what it took for her to speak first. That action alone is layered with vulnerability, hope, and uncertainty. The way you listen tells her whether she made the right choice. And if you listen well, chosen one, you become more than a man. You become a moment. A memory. A mirror that reflects back. You matter. You are safe. You are not alone here. That is the impact of listening when it's done with reverence. And when women begin to associate your energy with being heard, not just seen, with being felt, not just observed, with being honored, not just entertained, then your influence enters another dimension. You are no longer the man they admire. You are the man they trust. And trust is the foundation of all sacred connections. This is the power you now hold. Not in your voice, but in your silence, in your attention, in your stillness. In the way you choose to listen when the world is too busy speaking. And the ones who feel heard by you will never forget what it meant to be in the presence of a man whose listening felt like love. Chosen one, as your presence deepens and your energy sharpens, you are entering into a new and unfamiliar realm. A place where doors open for you before you even knock, where attention comes without request, and where interest finds you unprovoked. Women are drawn to you now not only because of your high sexual energy, but because of the way you carry it, the way you govern it. Your magnetism isn't just in how much energy you have, but in how much you withhold, how much you direct, and how firmly you protect what is sacred. And now, more than ever, you must understand the holy art of boundaries. For many